as promised, today we are going to be setting up my 2021 planner. It is absolutely crazy that it is basically 2021. There's a very high chance you are watching this in 2021. That is insane, but it still means that it is time to get organized and get the planner set up. So let's just jump into it.
I can feel your heart pound beating like a kick drum. Love it when I'm this drunk. Ooh, yeah, I can find.
We are going to be using the Erin Condren 2021 Life Planner in the vertical layout. I have only used vertical layouts, which let me open to one so I can show you. I've only used vertical layouts since about 2015, maybe 2014, since basically starting college. When I was a college student, I laid it out as my actual class is, like things happening in classes and class times, schoolwork, and then work, and personal life. And that worked out really nicely. And I think I just really fell in love with the idea of that structure, and I've continued to use it to this day, even though I graduated college 2 years ago now. So let's start just getting it set up though. We're going to start at the very beginning. So there's this cute little design. I actually have not decided yet if I'm going to keep this cover on it because it's very cute, but it does have some like holiday New Year. Obviously it says New Year Strong Your You right here, which is great, but I don't know if I'm gonna want that the entire year. And they did send over this interchangeable cover, and I just absolutely love this, like the waves, marbly, I don't know the right terms here, design that's on it. So I'll probably switch it over to this maybe in like February, March. If you do want to see everything that they sent over for their holiday 2020 collection, that was my very first video on YouTube, so I'll link it below. Definitely go check that out if you're interested in some of the other products that Erin Condren did send over. But like I said, even though they sent this over, this is the exact planner type that I have used for 5 years. I promise I love it, and I will be using this. If you follow me on everything else, you will continue to see me use this. So let's just, of course, put our name here. All right, I like to keep that pretty simple. I don't really add too much to this page, and a lot of people like to do stickers or they get customized stickers. I don't do quite that much. I focus a little bit now more on organization and logistics, a little bit less on cuteness. I definitely use some planner stickers, but I kind of phased out of that a little bit when I got out of college. So here is the calendar. This is 2020 on this side, which like, we done with this. And then here's 2021 over here. And then in the back, they have 2022, which I love. That's going to be so helpful. 2022 is going to be a crazy busy year for me. So I'll definitely be adding things in here as soon as I know specific dates for things. So I love this. I love these different little categories here. All right, for this next section, this is right after the calendar here, there is 12 of these little boxes, and I am going to be using this page for goal setting. So what I'm going to do first, oh, I'm sorry, a little shaky there, is go through and write down on each of the main top squares here just the months. Right, so now that I have these in here, what I'm going to do is on the first of every month, go through and write down goals for that month. And I do love random notes sheets like this throughout because I'm considering going through and putting, as you know what, I'm going to do it. We're going to do 2021 goals right here. All of 2021 goals. So that this video is not like 600 years long, I'm not going to go through all of my goals for 2021, but I can definitely do a video on that if anyone is interested. So I like to treat the overall month view as that, an overall view. I don't plan on changing up too much from what I did last year. So what I'll go ahead and do is, I'm not going to do the whole thing again, we're just kind of showing how I generally set it up. But I go through and I'll write down, so I post videos right now on Mondays and Fridays, and then I have a new blog post up every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. And so I like to, at least at minimum when I'm doing it, jot down a post day, and then a video day. And then what I do is I go back through and right under each of those, I'll write just a general title or general summary of what that post or video is going to be so that I can stay on top of that when I'm content planning. If anyone also wants me to do a video on how I plan content, let me know on that. But if you are new around here, I do post 3 new posts and 2 new videos every week. So definitely subscribe if you want to just be subscribed to that in all one place. Subscribe to my newsletter. Which my newsletter goes out on Sundays, but I don't generally put that on here because there's never any variation on that. Occasionally with holidays and then with content planning, I like to have these jotted down on here, but I don't have to do that for the newsletter because it's very similar and it has I have a default layout that I use for every week for the newsletter. And then if there's any major milestones, I'll go through and I'll put that on there. And then I make the notes section a giant to-do section. I'm actually going to grab a to-do sticker real quick. All right, and I'm going to stick that over the little thing that says notes. Because this is not a notes list, I make this into a giant to-do list for the month. I am a huge fan of to-do lists, and I kind of just make my own little check marks down here. And I'm not gonna, like I said, go too far into this, but this is a master to-do list. So I include on here not just content things, but also things for client work. If I have bigger projects for client work, I'll include, household things if I need to pay like a quarterly bill or something like that, putting that on there. Any big projects if I need to take the dog to the vet, whatever it may be. This is a master to-do. At this point in my life, I only use one planner. All right. So let's go on to the next part. So I actually like to make this page right here, which is similar to the one that's at the beginning of the year. But I like to make this page right here into a brainstorming page. So that could be anything that I want to brainstorm for the month, and it could be content ideas for January or February or whenever. It could be ideas for clients. It could just be general things that I want to jot down. I really like to have kind of a brain dump brainstorming page that I can go back to. All right, so I'm setting this page up with content goals, personal goals, client goals, and then I'm leaving the dotted grid part blank for now. I didn't like how I did it last time, so I'm gonna kind of see what ends up being a good place to have that little bullet journal area. All right, so now I'm just gonna briefly kind of go over how I plan just 1 week, like the first week. I cannot believe how soon this is. Okay, so I'm gonna grab another to-do sticker. I had gotten this little pack. I cannot recall the brand, and I'm sorry, it doesn't have it on it anywhere. But it's fine. But I got it from Michael's probably 6 months ago, maybe a little longer, probably longer. No, longer than that because there's been a pandemic. Wow. Probably last January, actually. So I'm not sure if they would still have them or not. I don't use nearly as many stickers as I used to use. I'll just use some throughout for a little bit of fun. but nothing too crazy. Just on the first of the month, I always like to add a little sticker, or just sometimes I write in the note if I'm feeling lazy, for paying bills. And then I am gonna add a couple of these little fun ones on for New Year's Eve. I'm not going to be doing quite as much work on New Year's Eve, so I don't have to worry about the planner space as much, and it's just fun. Alright, so I break my days down into 3 parts. This is something I know I mentioned at the beginning. I used to do this when I was in school, and I definitely continue to do it to this day. It just looks a little bit different now. So I break this down into this top section here is my content here. I'll just jot this down just for the sake of the video. And this is actually personal. And this is client. And for me, the reason I know that I feel like a lot of people would assume that personal is on the bottom, it will go like content, client, personal, or client, content, personal. And I put personal in the middle there, breaking it up, because a lot of my content work and a lot of my client work overlap, like things I do for Pinterest creation, and just the social media management side of the marketing that I do. And so when I have them right next to each other, they kind of seem like visually blur into each other, and a lot of the to-do items each day can actually really overlap between the two. They're not for the same thing, but the wording of them is the same. Like if I need to create 30 pins for me and 30 pins for a client, it just starts to blur together. So I interrupt it with personal, because as of right now I have a lot less in the personal than I do content or client work. And then I make my weekly to-do list on the side here. I just make my own little boxes. I know some people do little stickers down the side, and that is so cute. I used to do that. One day I will be that cute again. No, that's probably not true. But I just do little to-do list on the side, like I said, content, personal, client, and then I just save this little bottom part for anything miscellaneous, or sometimes I'll use it for like general brainstorming. If I don't want to add something defined to my day that I have to do this for content, or I have to do something personal, I have to do client work, I'll put it down here as just a little bit of like you could do this if you have extra time. Great. So I think we're not going to go through and do the exact same thing for every single month, just because that would get really boring for you guys. And I don't set up everything like that a whole year in advance. But we are going to jump towards the back so that we can get all of this set. Oh my gosh, that is so crazy. That is the 1st of 2022. Crazy. All right, so the note section, I don't have the note section committed to anything yet. So I'm not going to take it out yet. All right, so then there's this contacts page. I don't use it anymore. I used it a lot in college, but I don't use it anymore. But I'm not taking it out because it has 2022 on the other side of it. And 2022 is going to be a very busy year for me and my life and my family. So, and then same with like this, I would consider taking this out to save space, but I'm not going to. I am going to take out the sticker pages though. I love the sticker pages, but what they do is they kind of just make this too heavy. This is not a spiral where you can pop pages out easily, so you do have to rip them out. So I'm gonna do this quickly. All right, and that is the end. There is this little folder contraption, which is super cute. I haven't determined quite exactly what I'm going to do with that either. When I was in college, I used it for just random important things. So, I know that wasn't maybe as in-depth as some people would like. I don't go as in-depth into my planning, obviously, until each month and each week. So if anyone wants a video on how I plan out my entire weeks, or how I plan out my blog content or anything like that, let me know in the comments. But I hope this generally helped anyone, and I hope that everyone has a great day. Bye.